as our coverage of the NFL brings us to Sao Paulo, Brazil. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we've got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket,
To kick off, here's Will Lutz. And away we go, here in Sao Paulo. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. So the Steeler offense getting out there for its opening drive of the game. And leading them out, someone playing at a high level over a decade after entering the league. He's got a Super Bowl to his name. It's Russell Wilson.
Kate, Russell Wilson's one of the NFL's most experienced quarterbacks. He's also one of the winningest quarterbacks, even with a couple bumps in the road in Denver. Remember, over that decade in Seattle with Pete Carroll and the Legion of Boom, there wasn't a quarterback that won more games in the history of the league over the first 10 years. 9 times to the Pro Bowl as well. Put a supporting cast around him, give him a run game and a defense, and Russell Wilson still knows very well how to play this game.
All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. Wilson airing it out to start. Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground. So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Wilson now off the play action. Oh, he nearly starts the game off with a pick. Just couldn't hang on to it. Good defensive play, though, regardless. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
You feeling lucky? Well, do you? Well, he should, because the quarterback got away with one right there. That was an easy pick dropped by the defense.
That's caught for the first. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And that's the Steelers' first down. On the carry, this is Najee Harris. And he's only able to power this forward for about 3 yards. Second down now, 7 to go. From the 46. Got Washington, it's complete. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down.
There's no routes on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
From the gun, they go with Harris. And all he can get is 1 yard. Ran that right into the defensive front.
I've talked to running backs over the years, Kate, in the transition from the college game to the pro game. They'll tell you, there's just times in the NFL you got to run into darkness. You run into a lot of bodies. Perfect example of that on the first down play.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Wilson to throw it. Getting out to his left. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. Now an inside handoff to Harris. And he'll only find 1 yard up the gut. 2nd down.
Well, now this defense is in the driver's seat, Kate. Right? When you make a stop like that on 1st down, now it's your discretion of just how aggressive you want to be following that play up.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. So now they're going to throw with Wilson. And that's nearly intercepted, but couldn't hang on. Just a harmless incompletion. It's 3rd down.
Well, that's not the uniform you want to see almost bringing it in. They are so fortunate to have another shot down here after the near pick.
Throwing on 3rd, Wilson. Complete beyond the marker. And he's going to be taken down near the 8-yard line. 14 yards on a nice play there, and it gives them 1st and goal. From the red zone now. He's on the move, and he's going to score. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! The Steelers finish up an excellent opening series. Pat Fryermuth, the touchdown. Point after up and good from Boswell. And the Steelers will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Now Boswell on to send this away. Here's Traymon Smith with the return. And he's brought down inside the 20 on an uneventful return. So we'll see the Broncos offense now for the first time. They'll be led out by the former first-rounder out of both Oregon and Auburn. It's Bo Nix.
Bo Nix entered this league as a grown-up. 61 college starts will do that for you. A ton of college experience. And Bo Nix is a facilitator. When he is at his best, that ball is in and out of his hands in an absolute hurry. If he were a point guard on a basketball team, he'd want to go up and down the court and get it out of his hands as quickly as he can. He's accurate, he's tough, he's experienced, and he's poised for this challenge of the NFL.
On 2nd down, a run with Williams. We'll have him gain about a handful there. Hold Holcomb there on the stop. A dose of the hurry-up offense here.
19,
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
Okay, you know me, I can't resist. I thought we might have needed the old Gene Steratore index card down there. Making a really close measurement to see if he got the first down or not. But in the end, well, the right call was made. He got just enough to move the chains.
On 1st and 10, here's Nix. He beams one deep right. They connect on the deep shot. Touchdown, Denver! Finish off their opening drive. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period, end of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
That one right down the middle. And the Broncos start off well to tie things 7-7. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. The Steeler offense out and ready to go for their second drive. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended, Brock, in a touchdown. They'll start with a give to Harris. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up 2nd and 2. Staying on the ground with Harris. Crosses midfield, still going. It's a 26-yard pickup there. And that's a Steelers first down. Wilson looking to throw. Buys time, rolling right. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And they'll try to build on that big stop. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Now here's Russ. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Russ looking to throw. He has the first over the middle. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. Big gain, 14 on the play. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down. Running behind center with Harris. And they bring him to a stop, but this run gets him into the red zone down to the 15. That's the end of one. Both teams with a little luck finding the end zone early. Scoreboard showing 7s on each side. More coming up after this quick break. It's Steelers ball as we return for the second, and they have to be thinking points here. This is Harris on 2nd down. And finally, they bring him down. He shook off a couple of defenders there on a nice pickup. A gain of 5, Brock, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
Hey, look, Kate, you can't just ask one tackler to go mano-a-mano and stop this guy. You got to have the cavalry coming. One guy makes a hit, the others are there to clean up and pile on, because one-on-one, he's going to run right through you.
Completed here to Pickens. Ball placed at the 7. It's 2nd and goal. Russ setting to throw. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete. Trying to find his tight end. So they'll be left with 3rd and goal. Here's Wilson to the air. Rolling left, buying some time. It's tipped away, and he's going to hit the ground. Incomplete. Defender winning that rep. That brings up 4th down. Here comes Chris Boswell in the Steelers field goal unit. A very short kick here from the right hash. Dicker connects there. And that's going to break our tie and give him a 3-point advantage.
In that close, kicks have to be automatic. That won't stop the head coach, though, from holding his breath for a couple seconds until he sees it's up and good.
Now Boswell on to send this away. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. So the Broncos headed out for their 2nd drive of the game. They threw it the whole way down the field on their last drive, and they'd welcome the same level of play on this series as well. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Play action with Mix. Brought in by Vele. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
Escapes a defender. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 28 out of that play. And the Broncos will have a 1st down.
Let's go.
Out of the gun, it's Nix. He sends this one to the end zone. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. And it's going to be 2nd down. Nix looking to throw. Taking a big shot for the end zone. And he sails that one over the end zone.
Boy, this is really great defense to deny a big play and make them work for the touchdown. If they want to reach the end zone, they have to scrap and fight through them.
On 3rd down, here's Nix. Complete to Mims. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
Working inside the red zone. Completed to Sutton. Give him about 16 yards on that gain, Brock, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
The nice thing about a drag route is it works versus zone. You can find that soft spot and get a completion, but they can be very effective when you got an excellent route runner running away on that drag route for man coverage.
And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Broncos take a 2nd quarter lead. Javonte Williams, the touchdown. Point after try is good by Lutz. And the Broncos take a 4-point lead. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. And he wasn't chancing a return there, putting it out on the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers and Najee Harris making their return to the field. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing is Wilson. Got Williams, and it's complete. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stops.
That's really good instinct by the eyes up in the sky. The play caller seeing space on the perimeter, a well-timed screen, and a positive gain out of it.
From the 40 on second down. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. That one gains 7. And that's a Steelers first down.
You know, before the snap, right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the first down.
First and 10 give to Harris. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5. From the 48. This ball's caught by Pickens. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Not met many receivers in my life that don't love the spotlight, but you got to earn your place there. The easy way to do it, catches just like that, going up into double coverage and making the play anyway.
That's Pickens with a catch outright. And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. P.J. Locke getting there for the stop. Second down now, 7 to go. From the 36. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Yeah, this game, you just can't make it harder than it needs to be. Just get the catch first. Guarantee your yards, and then worry about escaping defenders after the catch.
And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, you certainly want those throws to be automatic. Every team, if you're going to be efficient, you've got to hit those passes in the short to intermediate zone to effectively move the ball in this league.
Sticking in the air with Wilson. Flush down now to his left. And as that one falls incomplete, all eyes shifting to the flag that was thrown. If it's defensive, we've got a first down here. I think we all saw their shoulders slump in unison when they saw that flag come out. They knew what that call was going to be.
And if he could, you know he'd dig a hole 10 feet under and go hide in it. You do not want to be the guy who gave this drive new life.
And he's taken down after gaining a couple. That's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Here's Wilson. And he is hit hard shortly after that catch. Great job hanging on to that, but only a small gain on that play. Let's see what they draw up on this 3rd and 7. Wilson to throw it. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. He made taking away that quick slant look easy there, Brock, even in zone coverage.
Yeah, it is not an easy route to stop, and you have to have tremendous eyes. I talked to you, Kate, and everybody about anticipation as a quarterback. It's the same thing for a cornerback in zone. He anticipated that route. It's Johnny on the spot. Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm than start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Things trim back down to a single point, Brock, as they send this off and away. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. The Broncos about to get going on offense. Javonte Williams headed back out now. And that lead they've got, Brock, they are never going to have to worry about losing it if they keep scoring every time they touch this football.
Is that how it works?
It surprisingly is. You know, if you have the lead and you don't lose it, you win.
And that type of start, well, you wanted all 17 games of a season, but you're lucky to get it more than once.
And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. In a good spot here, 2nd and inches.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. 60 backward, go.
Shotgun snap to Nix. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. Offense up to the line fast. 3rd and long for Nix. He puts some power on a deep one left. Oh, it's a tip drill, intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And the Steelers might be able to get some points late after the interception. I don't know what to be impressed by most, Brock. How effortless he made it look to throw it that deep, or how effortless the cover man made it look to get that far down there and haul in the interception.
How about we just marvel at both of them? You call a deep pass like that again on the next play, it could go to the end zone. But this time, it is a takeaway.
Just before halftime, we get a timeout. Take it. Here comes Chris Boswell in the Steelers field goal unit. This from the right hash and a considerable distance. Online, but not enough juice. It's no good short. And they fail to claim that lead. They're still down by a point. So after a very competitive first half of football, we've got ourselves a 1-point game as we send things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando for the EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Kate, thanks very much. We'll let you and Brock catch your breath as we welcome the rest of you to our EA Sports.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our 3rd quarter. The party's still going for 2 more quarters, football fans. We're back underway from Brazil. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. The Broncos back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And they really leaned on that passing game in the first half, Brock. Let's see if that emphasis continues to start the 3rd. 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, roll.
Here's Williams to start the drive. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
Those outside runs so critical for running back, quarterback, O-line to hit their targets. They got a target area to expose that defense and make the most of it, and that offense just put on display some teaching tape for it.
Nix with it on 1st. He fires one deep down the right. This is caught inside the 15. It goes as a pickup of 37 yards. And that'll be good for a Denver 1st.
19 target,
A handoff for Williams, running left. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. Now Nix. This throw is caught. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line. The Steelers calling their first timeout, as that'll leave them with just 2 to use the rest of the way.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick.
And he's in. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos grow the lead coming out of halftime. Javonte Williams, the touchdown. Extra point try now from Lutz. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Broncos grow their lead to 8. Here's Lutz, set to kick this away. And he just sends it over the end zone. No threat of a return at all, but now they're going to spot the ball at the 30 to begin the drive. The Steeler offense set to get back on the field. First and 10 now from the 30. Going to Harris to start the half. And it's a nice gain off a really good effort there just to stay upright. Halfway there on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
This dude was just not going to be stopped. Not by the first defender. Heck, not even by the second one who was able to bring him down. No, it took a few shots before this crew could finally get this beast down.
And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
A little bit of chaos, right? I mean, play breaks down, trying to find a connection and get on the same page, just couldn't do it. I'll tell you this, though, and what I do like is you live to play another down. You don't risk the interception, and you throw it out of bounds.
Toward the sideline, and he's got Pickens. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line. Broncos never afraid to challenge calls, Brock, and they've got that red flag out there. We're all watching that sideline here, seeing where those feet came down.
And no matter what they rule here, Kate, that was an outstanding effort just to make the catch.
Yeah.
Now we got to look and see, did he get both feet in with possession?
Well, that didn't break out how they thought it would, and they're going to lose the first of their 3 timeouts for their trouble. Wilson now, 1st and 10. Escapes the pocket. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
On the move, headed right. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that, and it's a good thing he woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep him moving forward.
1 yard, all that's needed. This is 3rd and inches. Wilson. He lets one fly deep downfield. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
He's keeping it, he's going for it. And he will get the first as they touch him down.
Kate, instead of my usual why, I'm going to ask you how. How do you stop him short on a sneak right there? And the answer, well, most of the time you can't, and you don't. And that's why they'll go to that sneak time and time again.
He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6. And it sets up 2nd down.
That play is so impressive on so many levels. Not just because it saves a touchdown, Kate. He had to time that perfectly to knock it free without drawing a flag or let him establish possession for the score. That is so, so good.
Big catch is made, and he got the feet in, too. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh 1st down. They give to Harris from the gun. And he'll go down here at the 16. Offense in the hurry up here. Going to the ground again on 1st. And they're going to bring him down after he drives it down to the 7. Working quickly here. Second down here, another give to Harris. And he drives this forward to the 6. They get 2 on the play, and now they've got first and goal.
Hey, Kate, you want to see a picture in the football dictionary of staying on schedule? That was it.
They'll break the huddle and come up on first and goal. Trying to run in, Harris. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
You know, that's so hard for me, Kate. That's the type of effort that deserves better when it comes to the results. It's going to show up as a negative run on the stat sheet, but that was not the runner's fault. He did all he could to fight to get back to the line, but this defense just kept swarming.
So now they're going to throw with Wilson. And they will score. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! The Steelers start the second half with some needed points. George Pickens, the touchdown. Exactly the play they were looking for, Brock. They saw it, and he put it right on the money.
Yeah, it really was a perfect play. This is what it looked like in practice, but more importantly now to get it done in game time, that's what you're looking for. Amazing when it all comes together.
Wilson's throwing for it. And he brings it in. They go for 2 and the tie, and it works out. But we all knew extra point was doing nobody any good there. Got to go for 2 in the tie. They do. They get it. And just like that, we're all squared up here in the second half.
Squared up, brand new ball game, even Steven. Who is Steven? Do you know who Steven is?
That's a good question. No, go ahead. Go ahead, though. You take it.
I don't know who Steven is, and I don't really care because it's a whole new game with both teams totally alive.
Now Boswell on to send this away. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos and this running back headed back out for a new series. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3 and out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
Drive begins with a run. It's Williams. What a hit. He gets flattened to the ground. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Here we go, 2nd and 9. This one is tipped away and incomplete. Good positioning to make a play on it. That forces 3rd down.
Well, Kate, that wasn't a fast enough break for the interception, but it was good enough and a good enough break to break on the ball, get a finger on it, and force the incompletion.
They'll throw on 3rd and long. Cut by the open man. And he's out of bounds after reaching the 40. Running right, it's Williams. And without much room to work, he has a minimal gain on the final play of the 3rd quarter. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9.
7 Pirates, 7 Pirates, 70 Rangers.
Play action with Mix. He puts some juice on a deep throw down the middle. He drops it. Oh, a huge gain in hand, but he couldn't finish the catch. So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Nix from the gun. He's trying another one deep. He's got it deep downfield. Touchdown, Denver! The Broncos take a fourth-quarter lead. His hat on this game, Brock, has been massive. They'd be on the comeback trail right now if it wasn't for his 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and that second one far bigger than his first when you just look at the game circumstances. Puts him in front here in the second half. It puts a little jet fuel in the engines of their defense.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. Now Pittsburgh's offense running back out for a new series. Still time to go, Brock, but that touchdown has them down now 7. They've got to find the end zone here. First and 10 now from the 30. They're carried by Harris here to start the drive. And he takes this across. Nope, beg your pardon. They're going to spot him right at the 35-yard line. First down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Harris once more. Oh, he gets clobbered behind the line.
Well, they shoot the pass to try and bring up 3rd and short via a little more conservative ground call, but it backfired. You know, the defense, they'll look for keys up front. And they fired off the line knowing the run was coming. And, boy, they busted it before it could get back to the line.
Throwing on 3rd, Wilson gets this one to Harris. Has some daylight through the 40. They gain 14 on the play. And that's a Steelers first down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. Wilson now. He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. He's back to throw. Complete beyond the marker. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down.
I can't tell you how nice it is to have a big, trustworthy tight end in the passing game. Such great size to have, and he forces those defenses to find a way to try to match up, and they can't.
They'll run with Harris. And without much room, he's going to go down at the 32-yard line. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson to the air. That throw finds Pickens. And nothing doing on that run. Defenders bottle it up quickly.
You know, Kate, it's almost as if the defense invited him to make that throw. That was a play they knew they could defend, and they stopped it right at the line.
Looking to throw. He has the first over the middle. And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19. And that gets him to double digits with his 10th reception of the game. They've kept him about as busy as they could all contest. 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning for them to use, Brock. Here's 1st and 10. Now an inside handoff to Harris. And he could only get a lone yard. Took a couple of guys to haul him down near the line. We've reached the 2-minute warning. Steelers down by 7. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Wilson out of the pistol. The throw is caught. And he'll be taken down at the last possible moment. He's at the 1. That's a pickup of 17 yards, partner, and it makes it 1st and goal.
Well, that's a game that has its roots in preparation during the week. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of stuff. Identifying ways to target the coverage and creating opportunities for big completions.
Mike Tomlin eyeing that play clock, and he gets a timeout just before it runs out. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting that first. Down to a knee, and we're going to see if that defense chooses to expend one of its final 2 timeouts. Denver calls the second of its 3 timeouts, as they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. They drop to a knee, and what little time we have left here is going to tick down. Mike Tomlin eyeing that play clock, and he gets a timeout just before it runs out. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. A tight end in motion now. Throwing now. The shot to the end zone is incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. So now they're left with 4th and goal.
Not an open passing lane to be found anywhere. He took what he thought was the best one available, and they still managed to tip the ball away.
3 plays haven't gotten it done. Now a 4th to try to reach that end zone. So early movement from the backfield, Brock. They jumped the gun a bit, and that brings out the flag.
Ball start, offense.
So tough to stay set when you've got defenders doing everything they can to make you jump, and, well, they got one of them to move that time. After the penalty, let's see how their composure is as they still try 4th and goal. One of the tight ends motioning right. Desperation time here on 4th. And it falls incomplete. He can't find the end zone. They stop him, and they'll still trail. Downs.
Even the best receivers, they've got occasional breaks in concentration. You just never want to see it happen. One of the most important snaps of the game. If we know anything about this guy, though, it's he'll be up for the challenge.
Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Handoff goes to Williams, running right. He's been a fixture for them all game, and all signs indicate, Brock, he's going to remain one in the time we've got left.
Yeah, they've leaned on him in certain spots, and he has shouldered the load oh so well. Put together a game that everyone's happy with.
Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's 2nd and inches. They stay on the ground with Williams. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No 3rd down required now.
All right, I'll set up now. 1st and 10. So it's a win for the Broncos. And finally, Brock, they can exhale and take a few breaths, because I don't imagine any of them were breathing easy during that one with how close this game was.
Them or us? We're both.
All of us.
Yeah,
all of the above.
It is so hard, Kate, to match the adrenaline surge they feel right now, and that they felt at every major turn throughout the second half. There's just something about